Askreddit thread. Older users of Reddit. What are some of your biggest regrets in life? It's always about time wasted. The older you are, the more you resent your younger self for fucking around. Good thing I'm clocking mad hours into Reddit. Good one there. Wouldn't like to look back at your time in school and be like, shit, I could have been exploring more dank memes on Reddit at that time. Imagine all the vintage Pepes you could like. I started Reddit too late. Now I think I won't be able to hit my target number of rare Pepes in order to retire comfortably. On the other half seems to resent their younger selves for not fucking around enough. Oh, it's both. Every bit of literal fucking I skipped out on with good reason in my youth. I've reconsidered in my old age. She wasn't that crazy. All the time I wasted doing nothing back then, I resent, even while I spend time doing nothing right now. I'm always torn on this. I have pretty much been traveling for the past 8 years. Should I waste my time by settling down, thus allowing me to finally get a partner, steady income, home and mortgage, and maybe children? Or should I waste my time by continuing to travel and do cool shit that you'll never get the chance to do, but be pretty poor and always have to create new friends after a couple of years? Seriously, the shit I've been able to do because I have no attachments or obligations, stuff you read about and wonder who does that. But it gets awfully lonely after a while. There could be a balance somewhere there, but I'll be damned if I've ever found it. Find someone who shares your love for traveling and live while visiting the world with / him or her. That is the dream. Human nature is strange. We worry a lot, have an insane fear of loss aversion, and become paralyzed by analysis and choice. All I can suggest, and this is based purely on reading a bunch of books with very limited actual life experience, so by all means feel free to ignore me, is that you focus less on what could be with the option you don't select and focus more on what is with the option you do select. I've definitely found more enjoyment out of life by catching myself when I'm wearing them and reminding myself of how good things are now. Another great thing about human nature is that we're incredibly adaptive and resilient, and can usually adapt accordingly. Threw away my 20s dealing with drug addiction. I can relate. Ooh, that sucks. What would you have done with it? I don't know. I've always had fun. I had the mindset since I was like a kid to enjoy life now. So I don't really have any regrets. Other than I could have done more, but I did a lot, so it's not that bad. Plus, I'm still young. A lot of people here climbed up the right ladder only to realize that it was propped up against the wrong wall. This may be one of the best analogies I've ever seen. God damn it, does it apply to me? I like the way you put that. What? A lot of people here climbed up the right ladder only to realize it was propped up against the wrong wall. I don't get it. Pretty much describes my whole experience with friends about to hit the blunt after reading 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Wait, I think I read that book before. Free audiobook downloads, audible.com, 7 Habits of... I should read that. I love self-help books about productivity. Drinking too much, letting the weight back on after losing it, being afraid of sex, complaining about visiting my grandparents. If they were here today, I would immediately tell them how much they meant to me. Taking chances, not skipping chances, settling for suburban life, settling. Letting my imperfections consume me. Not every guy is a human tripod, and I have zero control over that way. The afraid of sex pops out at me. I have ample opportunities. I'm in a fraternity in college and constantly surrounded by pretty and willing girls. I'm a good-looking dude as well, but for some reason I'm a little afraid of having sex. It is not the possibility of having kids or STDs that scares me. It is the physical intimacy. Was it the same with you? Well, my biggest fear was having kids. That's why I stayed away from that shit. It was a huge irrational fear I had in high school. Completely unfounded. I just really didn't want to have a kid. Because I don't know. I don't know why. Just really afraid about getting a girl pregnant in high school. Not talking excellent care of my teeth. I've spent enough for 2 new cars over the years in root canals, crowns, implants, not to mention all the pain and discomfort prior to avoiding all that work. Brush your teeth, often, even though it sucks. You should also floss every day. Go to your semi-annual cleanings. This can be avoided very easily. How do you not brush your teeth every day? Choosing the wrong education. Yep, was told in high school, pick a class you like. I liked my economics class at the time. If you have kids, please spend time helping them choose, because asking a high school student to pick what they want to do with their life with no guidance is a terrible idea. Yeah, that's why I took a year break after high school to figure that shit out. While I'm extremely grateful for my parents paid for college so I don't have to take out loans, they said, you get one major. If you want to change it, you're paying for the rest of college. So I got stuck in the major that I haven't been happy with as a career, because high school me thought it sounded interesting. Oh, I was so close to becoming an architect in high school. So glad I didn't do it. Turns out I just kind of liked the class, but not really that much. And when I finally actually thought about, would I have fun doing this for the rest of my life? It's like, probably not. It's not even really all that interesting now. That's all because I read a book about architecture, and it really changed the way I thought about my future, which is something most high school kids never get the chance to do, and I'm glad I was able to change my mindset before it was too late. There are lots of little things I regret, but refuse to really spend the time thinking about. Trips I didn't take, jobs I didn't try to succeed at, girls I didn't kiss, girls I did kiss, and so on. When I think about it, though, I don't really regret any of that stuff, not even the inedible failure of my first marriage. The only thing I truly regret is drinking too much alcohol for 13 years. Waiting to find out if it kills me like it did my grandfather makes me feel sad. Rejoice. Don't repent. You didn't get killed. Use your bonus time wisely. It can be applied to a lot of things in life. You are very wise. Got married too young and for the wrong reasons. She was not the love of my life. We got along well, and all of our friends seemed to be marrying. Have you remained married? Not knowing what I wanted to do after I went after the money doing something I was naturally good at. I avoided the stuff I was interested in because I figured I could become one of the first people in my family with money. Like I was given a great gift of intelligence and I should use it, sort of thing. I never considered how much I would actually hate doing it for a living, and now I'm too qualified to go work in the field I'm actually interested in. I can't stand sitting behind a desk, working in an office, staring at screens all day. It's horrible. Seriously, never go after money. It's not worth it. Fuck, I hate my job. I'm probably one of the few people with a business degree that makes good money, but I wish I'd studied engineering or become a chef or mechanic, something working with my hands. Well, I'm glad I have a job I enjoy. Whew, I'm a lucky one. I don't think I know anyone else who does something they love for a living besides me. Well, they probably like their job. That whole too qualified thing is a bit bogus, I feel. Shouldn't be that way. Let me tell you, I'm getting ready to graduate from grad school, applying to all sorts of neat jobs that I'm really excited about and would happily do for menial pay. Never get callbacks because they're looking for people with bachelors, not PhDs. Getting married to the wrong person. Now I'm close to 40. No kids. Mostly bald. No one wants to take a chance on me. I just spend weekends hanging out with my friends who have 6 to 10-year-olds, and I really think I've missed out. I've wasted my time and her time. Time is the one thing you can't get back, fellow Redditors. Don't waste it on the wrong person. Not finishing college for the first time around. I had a full ride scholarship and didn't understand what a great thing that was. Ended up graduating 3 colleges and 13 years later, heavily into student loan debt. I'm a 50-year-old woman. I have had an interesting life. It's never been easy, and I believe life is easy for no person, but I don't regret anything except not saying I love you more times over the years. I'm working on increasing that these days. Even my most horrifying mistakes have been sculpted my mind and body to the person I am today. I want to honor my past, my failures and success. That's pretty much all life is, a collection of experiences. I do believe there are people who have it easy. Yeah. I assume I didn't have it easy growing up. Not in the slightest. Easiness is all relative. There's no actual measurement as to why, so use it as a basis. Your life is easier than a Nigerian child, not a prince. His life is easier than a 2nd century BC slave. There is no point to comparing your life to the lives of others. Everyone starts in different places. You just have to play the cards you draw the best you can. The only thing that matters is asking yourself, am I better off today than I was yesterday? If the answer is no, you need to make a plan to fix that. Ooh, that's some good advice right there, dude. I wish I had never gotten married. Wish you hadn't gotten married full stop, or did you just wish you hadn't married the person you did? A bit cliche, but I've been telling my nieces this. Realize that it doesn't matter what other people think. It's extremely hard to do, as humans are built to care about what others think/feel. but extremely important for your happiness. I've noticed that this is linked to maturity and self-confidence as well. Younger people tend to have a harder time with this. Go after your own life and your own happiness, regardless of what other people think. Good advice. Something I don't need because I'm over-feeling with self-confidence to the point of arrogance. I gotta remember to keep myself in check, though. No one likes someone who's a narcissist. Are we older Redditors like the elders of the internet? We look at your regrets so we don't fuck up the same shit, and then we fuck up the exact same shit. Taking drugs when I was a teenager, not saving any money when I was a young adult, not taking school seriously at all, and picking totally the wrong subjects. Spending 5 years helping my ex get over an abusive relationship with the guy she was with before me. She ran off with another guy a few weeks before our wedding. Oh, wow. You were a vanishing meditator. If you're talking to someone and the subject is not you or them, but some third party, then you are meditating their relationship and you're not actually involved. This happens on the Bachelor TV show a lot. The person that gets obsessed with their rival and spends their time with their beloved one talking about this rival. The loved one becomes obsessed with the rival just as the suitor is. The subject of the conversation is the love object. Make sure it is you or them and not someone in between. Fuck, I just realized why my girlfriend of 4 years broke up with me. She watched too many Bachelor BS and she thinks it's a real life. That is what I get for pirating this awful TV show for her. She is still waiting for Bachelor love story, forgetting how those normally end up. Letting one girl go, not pursuing drama as a younger man. Other than that, zero regrets. What kind of drama? I'm guessing he means theater, not petty arguments with family and friends. I love my current girlfriend, I really do, but the other day I went way back in my Facebook and was reading posts an old girlfriend would leave on my wall. She was the one I wanted to marry, and she felt the same. She is the most beautiful girl I've ever seen, and we were perfect together. I started touring with the band and got caught up in drugs and drinking. She found me overdosing one evening when she came to my house with a bad feeling. She broke up with me the next day because my addiction was breaking her heart. A few months later, her brother died of an overdose after I had initially introduced him to some hard drugs the previous year. I regret my old habits, not because of what I did to me physically or emotionally, but because I lost her and may have led to her losing her baby brother. I cried when I read her post to me, and I still somehow think in my mind that someday we may cross paths and the sparks will still be there. Like I said earlier, I love my girlfriend and I'm very happy with her, but Hannah was my soulmate and I fucked it up. I can't even think about her without crying. It has been 6 years. For anyone wondering, I have been clean from dope and other hard drugs for what will be 4 years in December. I still smoke pot and drink some, but my life is great with a great job. So ashamed of my dumb decisions when I was 19 to 22. Not starting my savings when I was still in college. I regret that I didn't go to a psychologist and get diagnosed with Asperger's sooner. I was diagnosed last year at the age of 39 after yet another problem at work. Before, I'd always let people talk me out of it and tell me I'm normal. My dad died 3 years ago. He always said how difficult I was, and I know he struggled to understand me. If I had known sooner, maybe I wouldn't have been such a disappointment to him. Ah, poor guy. Not taking enough chances. It's kind of the same thing as not having enough self-confidence. I don't know, if you take too many chances. So that's why they're called chances, because sometimes they don't work out. But it's better to lament on a failed chance than lament on the chances that you never took in the first place. What is it? It's better to regret the decision rather than regret not doing it at all. Something like that. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's an eloquent way to put it. I wish I had traveled to Europe as a college-age person. Why can't you travel to Europe and have a great time now? You definitely can, but when you're in your mid-20s and staying in hostels and drinking with your peers, things can get weird in a good way. That's funny. I'm so excited to go as an older person because I'll have more money to do stuff I want to do. Not learning piano. I always wanted to play piano. I always figured to buckle down and start learning someday, but the years kept adding up. Now getting married and having children. My dad is dying and it sucks to know that I won't have someone that gives shit about me when my time comes. Wait, what? Oh. Not using knee pads. What? Installing flooring, skateboarding, or dick sucking. 2/3 ain't bad. 2 of them happen at the same time, once on a dare. I dare you to install my floor and suck my dick. Spending most of my life obsessing over my weight. Seriously, there are so many things that I either never did because I was too fat, or put off until I could lose X number of pounds. Dieting instead of living my life. Secondly, but related, staying in bad relationships because fat me couldn't possibly get another man. I do this too. I don't even go outside as often because people just look at how gross I look. I'm sorry. It's hard to get past when it's been installed in you by your own parents. It's hard to let go of. I'm still struggling with it. You are more than your appearance, and obsessing and shame does not help you get healthier either. I think it actually hinders the process. Not moving out of my small town of 6,000 people. I got comfortable and put down roots here. Really wish I would have moved somewhere with more opportunities. I was going to join the Coast Guard at the same time as a buddy of mine did, but I backed out because of a girl, who ended up dumping me a year later. And he joined anyway. He lives all the way across the country in Washington. He's retired at 40 and works part-time. What opportunities do you imagine other place you would have been? Everyone I know who was adamant about leaving for more opportunities just ended up finding out that you can go wherever you want, but you won't find any opportunities if you don't bring some skill/ambition with you. The places that seem like they have more going on for them really just have more people that made things happen. I don't think that location is really ever the real issue, but maybe I'm just jaded from all the Facebook posts of people talking about how much they hated our hometown, finding out that their personalities still go with them and things don't really change much. Not criticizing you, by the way, just curious what other people's thoughts are on this. 39, so still pretty young, but I regret spending so much time not being the person I wanted to be because I didn't think it was possible. I didn't realize that you can, for the most part, just choose the person you want to be. Well, duh. A lot of people still don't get that, though. Even if you try to explain it to them, all those years of family sitcoms and children's TV shows about just be yourself just really nail that down, that you can't ever change who you are because this is who you are. Not true. Then later, when I become the person I want to be, I seriously regret looking down on others who didn't. If I did it, why can't they? I somehow forget how weak I was and pushed away too many great people for that reason. Also, not realizing which people were truly important, surrounding myself with competitive assholes instead of embracing who I am as a person. My biggest regret was not getting into therapy sooner. I knew that I self-medicated my issues with behavior and addictions, but was too immature to face them. Now that I have, my life is such a higher quality. It's not longer what I do with my life, but the quality of each day and my interactions with the others. I wish in high school I would have been more sociable. I wasn't necessarily shy, but I always felt like I didn't fit in with everyone else in high school except for my one best friend. I went to a small all-girls school, and that one friend I have drifted apart, unfortunately. I always thought at the time the issues was with everyone else. But I went to my recent reunion, and it was filled with absolutely lovely women who I'd been great friends with if we'd met today. Made me realize a lot of the issues earlier lay not with them, but with me at the time. And when I see how close my brother and sister are to their gang of friends from their teenage years even today, while I have plenty of friends from later in life, it does make me regret that I'll never have friends for life like they do. In the mid-90s, I had offers from a few cycling teams, popular sport where I'm from. The pay wasn't good. I would have to relocate to a country where I didn't speak the language. I knew my abilities wouldn't ever allow me to become a star or even a name. But still, sometimes I think what could have been just as well. The 90s was all EPO. I don't know that it qualifies as older. I turned 30 very soon. I have let 3 really great girls slip away over the past 10 years because I was so interested in being single and just trying to bang chicks. Well, now all my friends have girlfriends /fiancé /wives and are settling down, and finding a good girl seems to get harder by the day at this age. I regret not taking relationships more seriously. You've come to realize that all of us girls have hoped that the players would come too. That being said, we still have time to find that wife. Well, if you found 3 of them, chances are you can find a 4th. It's just going to take a while. I had planned and organized a research project on the other side of the world. 6 months in the making, everything was set and ready to go. This would count towards my final degree. I was so excited. Then my grandmother fell sick, and it was a matter of when, not if. I tried desperately to go and see her, asked for time off university to miss exams, assessments, but despite my efforts to see her before I left, I could not. I was leaving at the end of the week and she was in another country. I found myself halfway across the world knowing I'd never see her again. The anguish was unbearable. I phoned often, but not nearly enough. I got scared knowing what was impending and could not muster enough courage to phone at every opportunity I had. The day I arrived, I had been in the jungle for a week, and when we walked out, I got a signal on my phone and a simple message saying she had passed. I broke down inside, but couldn't bear to let it show in front of anyone. I told one person, a local I had made good friends with in the village I stayed in. To my surprise, that night the whole village gathered around me in time of need. They all had a ceremony for my Oma and me to celebrate her life for me despite not knowing her. In the end, I have my data and managed to write a paper with it. My family's happy I did it and say she would think the same. I got a degree and dedicated my paper to her, but personally the whole thing is empty to me. Every day I regret not canceling it just to be with her one last time. I'd give it all to see her a few more seconds. That's my regret. Family comes first, always. Well, I guess. I'm in my 40s, and I had a really tough adulthood. While I know what my experiences have shaped who I am, there's one experience particularly that nearly killed me both literally and mentally. In some ways, I am a shadow of my former self because of 8 years of domestic violence. This man tried to destroy everything that was wonderful about me, and some of the things have been difficult to get back. I am jaded. I don't trust and almost hate most men who want to date me. I like men in general, though. I am a better, stronger person in some ways, but in others, I don't know that I'll ever be healed. It's been 9 years since I left him with my children, got lifetime protection orders, a divorce, and full custody. I began my life again from scratch. I left everything behind. My regret is not leaving as soon as I found out I was pregnant with my youngest. Older is not his child. He never would have known I had gotten pregnant because it would have been easy enough to hide from him given the distance that we live apart. Different providences. That, and I would have taken better care of myself physically. I don't hate my body, but I would like to be smaller for the sake of my health. I am working on that. The most interesting thing I've read about regrets is that people's short-term regrets are very different from their long-term regrets. If you ask a man about what he regrets last month, then he'll say that he should have worked harder. If you ask old men what they regret about their life, then it's that they worked too much and spent too little time with friends and family. If you ask a dog what he regrets, he'll say woof. Moving from America to a third world country when I was 14. It was my parents' decision, not mine. But it changed me for the worse. I am the biggest turning point of my life, and I will always be my biggest regret. What? I'm going to law school and becoming a lawyer. When we were away at separate colleges, the girl I was madly in love with decided that she did not want to miss her only chance to be a college co-ed slut. Those were not her actual words. So when she told me of her decision to date other people in between my monthly visits to her, I stupidly decided that I loved her enough to wait it out. I wish I had enough self-esteem to believe that. If I could get one amazing girl to be my girlfriend, then perhaps one day I could find another amazing girl. I wish I could go back and tell her that either she's my girlfriend or she's not my girlfriend, and that if she decides not to be my girlfriend, then I will wish her have a nice life and go on my way. I regret spending 4 years trying to make it work. College was basically pointless. I guess I'm glad I didn't drop out of high school, but I had job offers from some big .com names when I was in my teens in the 90s. Really wish I had not gone to college. Frivolously spending away my inheritance that my father left me instead of using it smart. Life lesson learned. I won't make that mistake ever again. My biggest regret is not going to nursing school. I'm now 53 and now wish I would have pursued it. I worked at a hospital for 15 years as tech and could have went and had some of it paid for through my job. Not learning to get over my shyness when I was younger. Would have had a lot more fun. Ooh, I know the problem of that. I was shy for exactly 1 year. No, almost 1 year and a half. For like half of my 7th grade year, I was also shy too. And all of 8th grade, and then I got over it in 9th grade. Ugh, being shy sucks. It used to be I was a really outgoing kid, and then I moved to a new school every single year, and eventually I stopped trying to make new friends. And then when you isolate yourself, because if you're a new kid at a school in like 7th grade where everyone has known each other for like the past 6 years, they don't really go out of their way to make friends with the new kid. So if you don't try to make friends, no one's going to bother talking to you. And after a while of not talking to other people for so long, you eventually develop. Well, I did anyway. I got shy and I didn't want to talk. Once I wanted to actually talk to people again, I couldn't do it. Shyness is pretty bad, but I got over it. But still, I had to live with it for like a year or two. So I can relate to it somewhat. It took me 8 years to finish engineering. That's before internet, Reddit, and online gaming. All I had was an Atari 800 XL. and the Nintendo Famicom. I was lazy to study and just bumming around. I still dream of failing classes. I graduated in 1992. 8 years to finish engineering. Damn. I regret almost everything. Yes, I am somewhat depressed. First of all, not having planned my professional life properly. I am now 36 and struggling to get back into full-time work. I regret going into the arts, student loans, and waiting for a gallery, collectors, etc. to recognize you. I regret not having placed value in money when I was younger. I regret not making the choice of marrying and having kids when I was younger. I regret not having pursued acting when I was a teenager. I regret dropping out of fashion school. I regret taking a corporate job I didn't like out of graduate school. It's just a job. Instead of finding that paid well that I really wanted. I am now starting a new business, which is great, but I wish I hadn't had such a difficult life up to now. I took all the risk when I was younger, and now I'm paying the price. Yes, I am unique and have had an interesting life that I wanted to lead, but the pain of instability stings very badly. Young kids, listen up. When your parents tell you, how are you going to make any money doing that? Listen up. Poverty sucks the most of all, and it will take the passion out of whatever your passion might be, eventually. So make sure your life has a business plan of sorts. Give yourself a timeline if you're pursuing a passion, and drop out sooner rather than later if that doesn't work out. Having said that, I had absent parents and no confidence, which is really the most important ingredient for a happy life. Some of us have a lot of healing to do before we get to the right path. Well, I was a lot more insightful than I thought it was at first. Poli-sci major. My fiance. A lot of these are pretty good, but this video is already kind of long. I'm just going to end it here.